We all like money and we all want more. So, why is it so darn hard to get more? I'm Dagmar Fleming, and I'm founder of Unlock Your Success program for entrepreneurs like you who are ready to make more money and accelerate their growth, increase their income, and most importantly, fulfill their life purpose through the business that you've designed for yourself. So today we're going to talk about money consciousness and upgrading it into abundance consciousness. Uh, Many years ago, a friend of mine said, Dagmar, the only time I hear the word abundance is when it comes out of your mouth. And I thought it was truly telling because we've come to equate our well being and state of prosperity with money. So we hear a lot about money consciousness, relationship with money, but very rarely people touch upon what it is to be abundant. So, what is abundance? Abundance is a state of being, not having. And this is a key difference between money consciousness and abundance consciousness. Now, these two concepts are very tightly interwoven because, as I mentioned, we tend to perceive money as the reason why we have the safety, security, and well being that we seek. So, in order to step into abundance, we first have to understand what is our relationship with money and how we manifest it, how we bring it into our life. And only then we can upgrade that to the next level. So, let's start with money. Um, First of all, money is not what most of the people actually want. If you think about it, when was the last time you sat in your living room and you wanted to be surrounded by money? In other words, when was the last time you wanted physical pieces of paper to be on the floor, on the walls, on the coffee table? Um, so it's important to realize that it's not the money that we want, but what money can get us. And we want freedom, security, travels, um, physical things that give us joy, better food, better travel options, you name it. Whatever you perceive as money will give you. And when we want to manifest the money, it's extremely important to understand that you can only attract what you focus on. This is where a lot of people fall into this hamster wheel that they can't get off of when it comes to money. And the reason for that is if you focus on wanting more money, then the focus is what I just said, wanting more. Wanting is not having. So, just in a state of wanting more of something, you've actually distanced yourself from the very thing that you desire. This is where state of being comes into place. When you feel that you already have what you seek, like a magnet, you give yourself opportunity to attract more of it. So, what do I mean by that? If you say, I want uh, more uh, more opportunities for my business, you're focusing on the fact that you don't have opportunities. If you really are open to receive those opportunities, a better approach would be to say to yourself, opportunities are coming to me from all unexpected sources. And when you say they're coming, you're already in that state of receiving, in the state of being, and not in a state of wanting, which means lack. When you say, I don't make enough money, I'm not making money, I don't have enough clients, I don't have enough resources, unfortunately, you will continue to be in that state of being. You cannot get more clients by saying that you don't have any. You cannot get more opportunities by saying you don't see them coming your way. So that is a critical switch where right from the start, people unconsciously distance themselves from the very thing that is the object of their desire. And remember that based on quantum physics, we create our reality based on what we say. I realize quantum physics is not the most favorite subject of most people that I speak with. It is mine, however. So let me give you a very basic kindergarten level explanation of it. Essentially, what quantum physicists proved is that when you observe something that is not matter, that is not physical, um, then your expectation of what you will see collapses a photonic wave, so the wave of light, into an actual form, into something that has mass and shape. So, what they are saying is that when you tell yourself, I am sick, you force your body to be sick. When you say, I don't have money, you force that experience and then you reinforce it by catalyzing more of those experiences because you determined what you will experience with the words, I don't have money, I don't have clients, or I'm not healthy. So your words are the creators of your reality. And I realize as a business owner, sometimes it's hard to say, well, I've got plenty of clients, especially when the circumstances around you might not be positive. Maybe you're in the midst of pandemic or economic downturn. But the very vocalization of that state of being that you're in, that you don't have clients, unfortunately locks you into that paradigm. And it's like a cage that keeps you locked in. So a better way to approach it would be to say is, I am open to receive more clients. I am actively pursuing, researching, and receiving ideas on how to attract more clients. That opens the door for the clients to actually come in to you. If you want more money, start by recognizing the money that you already have. There's not a single human being, including homeless people, that wouldn't have at least 50 cents. So to say that I don't have money will never be factual. Everybody has some money. And if you focus on the money that you already have, that catalyzes more. If you focus on zero, the lack of that, then zero will magnetize more zero. If you take zero and you add another zero, mathematically, that's still zero. So if zero is what you want, i.e., I don't have money, then zero is what you will get. And this is really critical. Our voice commands this reality. Please pay attention to what you're saying. The other thing that's extremely important is where I see a lot of business owners worried that they are thinking too big or that wanting something is outside of their capabilities, that they will never get it and that they will fail because they will go after it. Maybe you see yourself as running multi-million-dollar business, or perhaps you just want to have a bigger salary and buy a bigger house for your family. If you conceptualized an idea, a desire, a goal, or a dream, then per quantum physics, you have capacity to create it. Because again, quantum physics is based on a very simple experiment that said when we looked at the photonic wave carrying the electrons, we changed how the electrons showed up. When they were not observed, they acted like a wave. They had no physical shape or form. But the moment we started looking at them, they collapsed themselves and started acting like a subatomic particle or a particle, which means they gave themselves mass. They acted like an object. Okay, so what that means is that if you conceptualized a dream through visualization, through meditation, or through observing your neighbor that accomplished something, or another business owner that serves as an inspiration to you, that means you collapsed that photonic wave into the probability of becoming mass, a physical mass, of becoming physical, tangible reality. So if you conceptualized a goal, you do have capacity to accomplish it. If you don't stop yourself in tracks, if you don't tell yourself, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'll never get there, other people can have it, I can't, I'm not worthy of it, and many, many other concepts around it. So remember that absolutely everything is possible for you. If you want something, and it is your desire to have it in your life, you can have it. We just have to get you out of the way, out of blocking your own desire. So coming back to the abundance consciousness, abundance is a state of being. It's a state of knowing that all is well in all creation, that you're always provided for. And let's face it, you are. Every morning you get up and the sun is rising up and providing you with light, with warmth, and an ability to go about your day and create what you want. And every night the moon comes up, and when sun goes down, the moon provides the illumination. That is given to you without pain, without worthiness. The air that you breathe is abundantly provided to you every single day. You cannot live more than 3 minutes without air, and you never paid for it. It doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person, if you worked hard or you didn't work at all, if you paid through experiences or through your qualities of character. The air is given equally to every single human being. So the nature is showing us that abundance is our divine birthright. It's not something that we have to prove or fight for. And when you can give yourself permission to recognize that this abundant state of being, that well-being is divinely designed for you to have an experience, then you can relax and you can allow more of aspects of abundance come to you. But they can only come if you can step into that kind of vibration, that kind of perspective on life where I am always taken care of. Universe always has my back. Things always work out for me. Just that kind of attitude is what opens you to an ever-flowing influx of positive energies, people that support you, money that allows you to purchase things that matter in your life, and so many positive experiences. So abundance goes beyond money because it's about receiving from the universe, and the universe is not restricted to currency. Universe can provide you with everything you need through means that you'll never fathom. Perhaps you want to go on a vacation and you are open for the universe to provide the vacation for you. You may receive an unexpected call from a friend that says, "My miles are about to expire. Would you like some to buy yourself a trip?" Maybe the next friend calls and tells you, "I've got a house that I need somebody to house it for a month in Hawaii while I'm on a conference in Japan. Would you be willing to come and house sit it for me for free?" And now you've got a vacation. The universe paid for it with its own synchronicities and alignment, and you never had to spend a dime. So abundance is not restricted to money, and yet you can have a lot of money when you are in a state of abundance. So the next point that I would like to touch upon that's very critical to bring in more abundance to your life is alignment. And when I talk about alignment, I talk about energetic coherence with your own desire. And a lot of times we say we want something, but we have what I call a counter desire running at the same time. So what is the counter desire? Let's say you want to be a motivational speaker, and you want to be speaking to audiences of 10,000 people and more. But deep down, you're a very private person. You don't like to be on stage. You don't like to tell people how you feel. You don't like to share the deep parts of your psyche, how you approach life, or what you've experienced in your life. That means the desire to be a speaker is running against equal desire for privacy. And at that point, there is no coherence in moving forward towards becoming a motivational speaker. Depending on which desire outweighs the other, you either will never step into speaking because you want to be a private person, and that's stronger than any desire to speak. Or if your desire to speak is bigger than your desire for privacy, you may eventually transmute the part of you that wants to be more in a hermit mode, and you can pull yourself forward towards fulfilling your dream of delivering messages to masses. And sometimes you're going to be in stalemate because both desires are equally strong. So you need to understand your own internal oppositions to your own goals. And there are often disadvantages to having what you say you want to have. For example, a lot of my clients will say they want, let's say, big house, but they are not comfortable with running a big house. Or another client of mine said that he wanted to have a multi-million-dollar business, but he didn't like working with people. If I ask him what is his connotation attached to $1 million business, he responded, all kinds of headaches that are HR related. I don't want to deal with their time off, sickness, their personal issues, vacations. I don't want any of that. I just want to be by myself. Well, then perhaps having a business in which you need to employ those people is not for you. So take time, write down your goals and your plans and your dreams, and then be very honest with yourself. What you actually want? Do you want the very thing that you wrote? And perhaps if you do want it, what is the desire that's counter to that, that opposes this dream? Become extremely honest with yourself, because until you understand both desires and bring them into the same track, all they're gonna do is fight each other. And with that, ability to move forward. It's like having one cart with two horses, one pulling forward and one pulling backward. And then sometimes these counter desires are simply around our own fears. If we have a desire to be part of a group, then any concept that makes us believe that we will be alienated from what we perceive as our tribe, a concept that we will be judged for who we are, that will make us withdraw from the desire. So if again you want to step into a passion of being a ballerina, and yet your whole family is always telling you and your friends that you're not pretty enough and you're not skinny enough and you don't even know how to dance, then the fear of them ridiculing you for pursuing your dreams will make you withdraw. So now the desire to be approved by others and the desire for safety of belonging to a tribe dominates over desire to pursue your dreams. And this happens to a lot of startups and entrepreneurs that never take off because they were told, you'll never succeed in this business. No, it's too tough. You have no idea how many times I was told I will not succeed. And again, which desire is bigger? Is desire to pursue that business, that dream that you've just created for yourself? Is that bigger than what people will say? Is your desire for safety bigger than desire for fulfilling your potential? Because potential really comes with a deep degree of safety, because potential is always outside of your safety zone. Those that do not go after big dreams is because they want safety. The counter desire for safety predominates. The security, the belonging to a group is bigger than the desire to create something that is uniquely yours. So analyze those feelings and see where resistance is coming from, and make sure that some of these um, feelings around your dream are actually yours. How many times you didn't do something because your spouse or your mother or your friend said it wouldn't be good for you? The only person that should determine that is you. So understand whether the motivations that you have towards your dream or against it are actually yours, or have they been superimposed by culture, society, parents, perhaps your childhood upbringing. Again, lack of coherence, lack of alignment with what you want will derail you from getting to the destination. So make sure that the locomotive of your train, which means the goal that you conceptualize, and what you do, what you think, how you act, is attached to that locomotive. Don't let others pull you off your track. Now let's talk about some other resistance that may show up. A lot of it is around core emotions that you associate with money. So what are these emotions? There are so many. I made myself a list, and I'm pretty sure that I still will not go over all of them, but let's give it a try. So let's start with guilt. What is the guilt around money? Well, if you are a business owner, then I'm pretty sure you've made some mistakes with money. I invested in creating a membership portal that by outsourcing it to a foreign country. And essentially, it became not only an emotional nightmare, but it was a gift of many $1,000s to this company in a foreign country. And I ended up with absolutely nothing after the generous gift. Um, Now, I could sit and feel guilty about it for years, worrying about the thousands of dollars that vanished in the ether. Or I could just allow myself to accept that I didn't vet this company properly and that I simply made a mistake. I learned from it and I found a different company to with reputation and expertise to create my next portal. And whether that lesson was $1,000 or $10,000, it doesn't matter. The lesson has been learned. So we've all made mistakes around money or decisions that didn't serve our highest good. And that's okay. It's part of learning. It's part of being a business owner. So when you look at your relationship with money, my invitation to you is to understand where you feel guilty. The investments that you didn't make or those that you made wrongly and they didn't pan out, the people that you hired that didn't work out at all, the new lead generation strategies that you pursued that just drained your account. It's okay. Allow the guilt to be released. They were part of your lesson and part of your journey towards finding solutions that do work. The other predominant emotion around money is fear. And that one is extremely deeply encoded in our psyche through both religious values that are bestowed upon us. And a lot of it then is through society because it's been so ingrained in our culture. So, what do I mean by that? Well, have you ever heard that the money is the root of all evil? We all heard that. Maybe some of you said that. And when you look at that statement, my question was always, who would want to be evil? I don't think a lot of people sign up for that. So we have these concepts that money will change us, that money will make us do things that we shouldn't be doing, that maybe we'll become divas or some egomaniacs, and that we will be bad to people and we will be Scrooges. And, the list goes on and on. So there is an inherent fear of money itself and what it will do to us if we have it. Even the stories from Hollywood, how so and so actor or actress made all this money and look where they are now. They are in a drug rehabilitation center, or maybe they're alcoholics. So we feel unconsciously that we need to protect ourselves from money, which naturally pushes the money away. And then there are emotions of defeat and apathy around money. It's why should I even try? I tried in the past, I never succeeded. Or I don't know how to make money. Other people do. I don't know how they do it. I don't. I probably will never know. They know something that I don't know. Then why should I even try? I'll just disappoint myself and I will disappoint everybody else. So I might as well stay away from money than be disappointed. There is no point. What should I do it for? That is the apathy around money. And then we've got grief and regret. This kind of goes back to the guilt, because if you made a mistake, you probably felt very uneasy about it and you regretted your actions and now you turned it against yourself. I should have done XYZ with money, or I failed and now I'm a failure and I should work on myself. And should I have, should I, or had I done X, Y, Z, A, B, C, you name it. All of these regrets lead to nothing but distancing yourself from money. Because if you failed once, you probably will fail again. That's the thinking. And you do not want to do that. So you unconsciously may protect yourself from failing again and having these feelings of regret by not even trying. And then we come to lust. This is my favorite. This is where we want money. We want what our neighbors have. We want to be successful, but we feel we shouldn't. So it's this energy that's push and pull. I want it, but I can't. I want it, but I shouldn't. I want it, but I will not. And you you really want the money, but for some reason you feel like you don't deserve it. You're unworthy of it. So you're just stuck in wanting something that you believe never belongs to you, something that will always be outside of your reach because you're not like them. You're just you. And those people who have money, in your mind, they're different, they're better, they're special. So all you can be stuck with is just desiring the money, wanting it, but knowing you'll never have it. Okay? And we lust after money in various ways. We lust after how people dress when it impresses us. We may lust after somebody's retirement account because you don't have one. If we hear about somebody getting promotion, we can lust after that and wonder why we don't get raises, why we don't get promotions. So check with yourself. Where do you lust after money? And when we don't get what we want, we usually start feeling resentful and angry. So this is the next emotion that we need to understand. There is a lot of anger around money. I should have made the same money as my coworker. I should have gotten this promotion. I deserve this. They don't. What's so freaking special about them, right? Why I wasn't given this opportunity? Why this coach or this doctor or this lawyer have more clients? I am better. So when you start looking at yourself and you start beating yourself because you've worked hard all your life and you still haven't produced the results, while you're watching your colleague that seems to have a red carpet laid out right in front of them, clients just fall into their practice and they don't even lift their finger. That makes you angry. That makes you frustrated. Why hasn't it happened for you still? So anger and resentment truly has to be released because anger does not attract anything that you desire. It's one of the first emotions that we as humans go to when we cannot understand a deeper motivations or deeper frustrations that we have. And lastly, I want to talk about pride. And I mentioned that when I was talking about anger. A lot of times we feel that we should be paid more. Pride can show up when we feel I'm just better. They don't pay me enough. Uh, so that pride around money will usually be boosted by your ego that says, I'm important, I'm special. Why my clients don't see that? They should be paying more. I deserve more. They are not doing they're not fully comprehending who I am, what I am capable of. So that will put you in that unconscious state of being uh, unnecessarily proud and therefore uh, on a verge of being resentful. And then you start pushing away money instead of bringing it in. So once you understand those deep motivations, core emotions, and concepts around money and how money dictates your life and your conditions, then you can release them, let them go, and step into what I call a state of acceptance and allowance. And that's different than going after something. Many years ago, a friend of mine said to me, Dagmar, you have a hard time receiving. And it took me quite a few years to fully understand what she meant. I was so programmed with this idea that I have to do everything, that it didn't leave a lot of room for simply receiving. And I thought that that's the way it was supposed to be, that I should go and get things and do them, and everything has to be the result of my sweat, equity, my tears, and who knows what else. But the truth is, things can happen to us on their own. We can simply be in a state of allowing them to show up in our lives. Just like the air that you breathe. Have you ever tried to work for the air that you breathe? Now, this is not to say that you will never have to do any effort. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the state in which the state of being, of your mind, of your perspective that you're in when you receive what you want to manifest. And receiving simply means being open to this concept that the universe supports you, that synchronicities are being orchestrated on your behalf, so that the right clients show up at the exact moment that you are ready to serve them, that new resources appear when you seek them. There is this old saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And we can take that to the state of abundance. Are you allowing your success? Contrary to what you think, you have to give yourself permission to be successful. You have to give yourself permission to make money. Why? Well, go ahead and listen the last 20 minutes when I talked about the core emotions that you attach to the money that pushes them away. The anger, fear, shame, guilt, pride, lust. They are the ones that push the money away from you. So to bring it back, give yourself permission to be abundant. Give yourself permission to be wealthy. Give yourself permission to be prosperous. Allow the money to come into your existence instead of pushing it away. So say to yourself, whatever your money goal is next year, let's take an average of $200,000. Your affirmation, your mantra, your positive statement can be, I allow myself to make $200,000 in 2021. Now, just feel into these words. I allow myself to make. And then add whatever it means to you, whether it's 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, $500,000. The moment you allow your own success, you open the door, you open the window, and it's ready to come in. And this is where um, the act of receiving comes in. Can you receive that success? Well, if you allow it, you can. If you disallow it because of your counter desires, your objections to money, well, that closes that door, that closes that window. Okay. So the next one, a big point in working with abundance consciousness is trust. And this one is very interesting because I believe that there is a higher power, the universal consciousness, spirit, God, divine source creator, however you name it, whatever your religious or spiritual background is. I believe that there is this higher force that guiding us in our existence, in our everyday life. And I believe that that force is the boss. So I always joke that I have a boss and I like the boss. The boss always treats me well. The entire universe in my mind, with all its spiritual force, is conspiring on my behalf. It's always guiding me to the optimal outcome. It's the same universe that makes sure that I have air to breathe and the sun to illuminate my day. So I trust that if I let that power guide me towards my purpose and towards my abundance, then it will always work out for me. I will always have money. I will always have food. I will always have air to breathe. I will always have clients. You name it. You can add it because I'm not alone. I have got the entire source creator invested in my success. And this belief allows me to see everything in my life through that prism of benevolent force that is deeply invested in my joy, happiness, and success. I'm not marching in this life alone. I'm surrounded by this benevolent force, this energy, this love that wants my highest good. And all I have to do is listen and trust that it will take me there. Now, trust is very hard to learn because we are programmed with concept of struggle. How many times have you heard a business owner saying, I worked hard for my success, or I work hard for my money? You have no idea how much I had to struggle to get to where I got, right? And we glorify struggle. And struggle and fight makes you fight against invisible enemy. But where is the enemy? The air is given to you without fight. The sun is given to you without fight. The trees beautifully grow from the seeds that the nature allows to spread so that you can enjoy and rest your eyes. The animals continue to provide food for you. So the entire nature procreates to give you and ensure your well-being. Why not allow that to come down to your personal experience? Why not step into that same abundance and know that if the air, sun, and nature, plants, minerals, animals are insured to make sure our existence is possible, then perhaps the rest of our lives, the rest of our needs will be supported as well. And if you didn't have to pay for the trees, for the oceans, for the mountains, for the air that you breathe. Perhaps not everything has to be paid for. Perhaps just opening yourself to the state of being one with this universal consciousness will guide you to receive the very things that you desire, simply because you are put on earth to create the life of your dreams. And if money is going to get you to where you want to go, the universe will provide the money. Just let it rain, let it come. And that brings me to the very last point, and that is of detachment, which goes hand in hand with trust. Because when you're truly trusting that highest source to work on your behalf, to steer you to the optimal outcome in every possible situation or experience, then you can let go worrying about it. You can let go trying to do this or fix it on your own. And you can let your highest self, your soul, your intuition, your gut feeling, however you call it, your heart, simply guide you to what you want for yourself, for your loved ones, for everyone else. So today I invite you to step into the essence of being abundant. Recognize that you already are taken care of, that things happen to you because they seek the optimal outcome for everything that happens in your life. Look at each glass as half full instead of half empty, and let the rest of the water come into that glass, magnetically attracted because you're focused on what you already have instead of what you don't. And I invite you to visit my library of articles at dagmarfleming.com/success tips, or simply click on success tips on my homepage. Because I wrote so many articles about money consciousness and abundance consciousness and this essence of being in a flow, of being one with the universe, and understanding that money does not control you. It's your concept of money that dictates how money shows up in your life. And the faster you let those limitations, those faulty beliefs around money, wealth, and prosperity, when you let them crumble, the faster you will step into the essence of being abundant. And in that state, it will be impossible to not magnetize more money, more wealth, more prosperity, more clients, more health, more love, more opportunities to you. So that's my wish to you. Step into abundance. Till we talk again. Thank you for listening.